Hello, onion growers. This is Ray Kruse of the ICU Extension Outreach Office of Dubuque County, and today we are talking about thinning our onions. But before we go into thinning our onions, we're going to talk about what's going on with the onions and why it's a good time to start thinning them. Now, we had planted this onion way back on April 18th, and our goal was in planting that early and getting some large leaves. And if you imagine, these are like large solar panels. That's why we planted these onions as early as we could, so we could get the largest plant before this time of the season. Now, what's going on at this time of the season? We have long days and short nights. And onions are daylight sensitive. And so this plant, with our long days and short nights that we're encountering now, is now triggered to start sending the energy from these leaves up here all the way down to make these nice onion bulbs. And that's why it's a good time of the season to start thinning our onions, so that we can allow for our onion bulbs to expand in the row. Now, we're looking for a good goal of 4 inches. Once in a great while, we'll see a 6-inch bulb, but that's very, very rare. But a 4-inch is a good sized bulb to shoot for. So now if we go over here, we have just a short area in the garden. I only have 17 onions that are in my garden, but I do have this area of onions that is all chalked in a row. And so these over here are spaced at about 4 inches apart here. That's a good spacing. Right there is perfect. Now we have this one here in between. And these onions here are going to be a little too close for us to have a good bulb development. So what we're going to do is we're going to go where these are spaced 2 inches apart, and we're just going to yank that right out of the ground. And we're going to take this in the house, and we're going to eat this as a fresh onion bulb or a fresh onion, food in the kitchen, and I'll provide some recipes with this newsletter. But there you have it. We're aiming for something that's between 4 and 6 inches apart. Now, you might have some spots in the garden where you might have a large blank space on one side of 2 onions and then, another blank space. This is a judgment call. You can leave those 2 onions to grow next to each other. They'll probably have a flat side in between where they grew, but at the same time, they're going to do okay. So you can leave them together, or you can yank one out to encourage the other one to be a nice round bulb. So there you have it. I hope you learned a little bit about why we're thinning our onions, what's going on with our onions at this time of the season, and why we planted our onions as early as we did in the year to get some nice leaf development, and so that we can get some nice bulb development later in the year. I hope you enjoy your fresh green onions in your kitchen if you decide to pull some out of your garden to thin your onions. This is Ray Kruse, the ICU Extension Outreach Office of Dubuque County. Happy growing, everybody.